Post-home school, went on, started to do the 18 X-ray stuff. So it started to do getting ready, kind of basically, uh, they kind of let us at this moment in time. We had a very relaxed leash. Like we showed up and we'd go to like the meetings during the day, and then they would be like, "Okay, you're released for the day." And it was basically like, "Go work out, go do these things, go do that." Like we can't really mess with you because uh, somebody got really hurt because of this happened because one of our instructors and stuff like that had pushed people to their limit, and somebody wound up like
Not surviving.
yeah, like going into like a coma. Like it was that bad because it was like 12 hours. Like
Yeah.
we talk about getting smoked for like an hour, 12. Like these guys were getting smoked for like from the stuff that the guys that I talked to, like 12 hours, like a day.
Yeah,
And
selection,
and
it's
it
no
was
joke,
not,
guys.
it was not a
it's
joke.
it's tough stuff. Like, I mean, like we were joking earlier in the podcast. You
Yeah.
know, they just hand it. They don't. It's the real deal. Like, I mean, they
That's yeah, it's
to
on a
their
whole.
limit.
It is on a completely different level. Like you go through basic and you have an idea of what it is, and then you get to that, and you're just like, wow, these guys are monsters. Like these guys are just insane. Like you have to live and breathe at the gym. Like you have to have that gym mentality of like that's your enjoyment, that's your place, and that is your
for hurting is pleasure.
yeah, like that is your place of clarity is the gym, and that is what you eat, sleep, and breathe. And those are the kind of guys that I saw go through that. And the guys that I had classed up with, we were the largest class in 2016 in Alpha 119. That I think we were the largest like class of like 18 X-rays. I think we had like 200 and something people graduate in that MOS, and then we went through, and uh, like obviously not all of us became special forces. I went on to do 13 Fox, and other people went on to do other things, and but I definitely knew some guys that wound up did making it and going down that long walk, and they did it, and they good for them. Those dudes were monsters. Like they were on a whole different mentality level and on a whole different physical aspect level. Like my time in the military, my body just broke down. Like it was just slowly degrading. Like as time went on, these guys were just slowly improving. Like as time went on, it was just like, whoa, you guys are something else. So all the respect to those guys. But I went through and we were doing that, and I went through. I think they have their own like training program before selection to get these guys ready, and that's kind of what they really focus on in that, because anybody can apply through special forces in the Army and go through selection, but as an 18 X-ray, as a like that X-ray baby, you kind of get that extra selection course, like the pre-selection course to this, like you get the answers to the final, but not really. It's more of just kind of like this will mentally prepare you by dragging your face in the dirt and
Yeah,
kind of
like
like
crawl.
yeah, that kind of test. It's not really the answers, it's just kind of like, is this what you want? And I was going through that, and I went through that school, and it got to the point of where I was doing the land navigation, and I think they had us do our land navigation with like a 60-pound rucks or something like that, and it was just, you're going through and you're doing like miles to your objectives, going like hitting your things, and you only have like a certain allotted time, so like you're running at like a set azimuth, like with your compass, and you're just like, this direction go, and you're just like running through the woods. like you're running through the woods.
Is
And
it a
I got to the
course?
no.
So it was just they just had the numbers and you didn't know if you had the right one or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like you show up at the end with like your numbers, and they were like pass fail.
Okay.
Like you better pass. Like, and that was kind of the thing. It was like you better pass, otherwise you have to go through. Otherwise you have to go through SOPSI again. It was kind of like if you fail this, like you don't get to go to selection. You get to go back to retention or wherever, and then you get to sit there for another 2 months, and then you get another chance at going to SOPSI, and then maybe you'll get to go to selection. So that's like kind of the thing. So it's like you better pass, man. And I think that's like it got to that point where I was just like going through the woods, and I that was the moment that I was like, maybe this isn't for me. I was like, I just hit him, I'm looking around in the woods, this heavy pack on, and I was like, what am I doing? I was like, what is going on? Like, I don't think this is for me. Like, and some people are all about it, and I love that, and I love that people are for that, and mad respect to those people. To me, I finished SOPSI. I actually did pass all my land nav, thank God, because I went on to be a fire support specialist, where I actually had to I had to apply land navigation and apply to those things to speak to mortars and artillery. So I had to be fairly accurate. So that actually kind of worked out. Uh, so, but yeah, I finished that, and it was just like not the route that I wanted to go through. And then luckily, I just reclassed as a 13 Fox and came down here to Fort Sill here in Oklahoma. Went through Fort Sill training as a 13 Fox and did the AIT there, and then you know where they sent me next, man.
Yeah.
Right
Fort
back.
Bragg.
Fort Bragg, baby. Airborne. And that's where they sent me, the 82nd. And I was there for 6 years. I loved it. Loved it. Jumping out of airplanes and all that other stuff. There's a lot of good people. A lot of good times. A lot of good memories. A lot of not so fun memories too. It's not all sunshines and rainbows, but it's mad respect to everybody before me and everybody that's gonna come after me, and thank you guys for doing your part. And like, I know we've been talking about it since we were in high school, and you know, it was just never too late, you know. And